From where the
You were
video
there,
is frozen
dude.
right now, I cannot tell.
Really?
So you're changing your testimony?
Yeah.
Are you changing your testimony?
Did you see how hard he swallowed? He's like, oh shit. That's perjury, buddy. Objection.
Sustained.
And it is sustained, but it doesn't matter. Jackson did it for the jury to understand that Yuri is a liar. So we have almost 12 and a half minutes of actual footage missing. Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Buckle Up, It's the Law. Today we're going to continue with the Yuri Bukhenik cross-examination by Alan Jackson in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Karen Reed from June of 2024. Last we left him, we were coming back into court. He has just recently changed his clothes, and he's going to answer for his crimes, hopefully. Remember, I made a big point of it a few videos back that Alan Jackson should have probably brought Yuri up there to take a look at the video and ascertain the timestamp. Well, I think Jackson found a workaround. Let's see how he does it, shall we? I bring you part 6. Let's go.
Time of day would be most easily seen right down here, although it's pretty small from where you're at. If you can't see that, please let me know.
I do not see that, no.
Okay. Your Honor, I'll hold off on that question, and I may ask the court for relief in just a moment. If we can play this for just a quick second, and I'll ask you, Mr. Biggs, if you can pause it. Go ahead and pause there. Okay. Sergeant, this is the basic video, the point at which it was paused when Mr. Lally asked you to identify the individuals in the video, correct?
I believe it was a different time, but I'm not sure.
Do you remember using your green laser pointer, pointing at the person in the back and identifying that person as Trooper Proctor, and then pointing at the person in the front, screen right, mistakenly as you? You remember that?
I remember indicating where the individuals would be, yes.
Okay, and so do you have the green laser pointer with you?
I do.
Could you point at the location where you see Trooper Proctor?
I do not know specifically right now if that is Trooper Proctor behind the vehicle, but when Mr. Lally asked me to indicate where we would be, it was in this location here.
You're indicating toward the rear of the SUV.
Correct.
On Wednesday, and I just want to draw your attention back to your testimony on Wednesday, you used the laser pointer and pointed at two different individuals, the person toward the back, and you identified him as Mr. Proctor, as Trooper Proctor, correct? On Wednesday.
I indicated that Trooper Proctor and myself would be in the shot in the rear of the vehicle. And then I indicated that I'm wearing a olive drab baseball hat, and Trooper Proctor's wearing a winter-style knit black hat.
Isn't it true that on Wednesday, the question you were asked from Mr. Lally is, Ms. Gilman, from Mr. Lally, Ms. Gilman, if you can just pause there for a moment, as the sergeant's almost falling in the video, and the court said, keep your voice up, Mr. Lally. Do you recall that?
I do not recall that, no.
Do you remember Mr. Lally saying, Sergeant Bukhenik, with reference to any of the individuals you see in this video, do you recognize any of those individuals? And you responding, I can recognize Trooper Proctor and myself. And you used the green laser pointer in doing so.
Yes, I did.
And that was on this area, may not be to the frame, but this is where the video was paused when you made that identification, correct?
It was approximately at this time.
Okay. So you were then asked after you identified, and at that time you did identify Trooper Proctor, and again, mistakenly, yourself, correct?
I directed the laser to the area where we would be.
Okay. And Trooper Proctor is the one toward the back of the truck.
Again, I cannot tell you which individual. There are multiple individuals there. I do not know at this point in time where it's frozen if that's exactly Trooper Proctor. I know we were present at that location, and I know what he was wearing for a headdress and what I was wearing.
All right, so you have to move along from this point.
Then why did you, one more question, Your Honor. Then why on Wednesday did you indicate very clearly that the person toward the back of the SUV was Trooper Proctor? If you don't know, why did you say that on Wednesday?
During the frozen frame, I could tell there were two individuals back there, and I was at one point in time in that location with Trooper Proctor.
There
Wow.
appeared to be Trooper Proctor in the back of the car.
From where the
You were
video is
there,
frozen right
dude.
now, I cannot tell.
Really?
So you're changing your testimony
Yeah.
from Wednesday.
Yeah.
Objection.
Are you changing your testimony?
Look, did you see how hard he swallowed? He's like, oh shit. You know, that's perjury, buddy. If you are now trying to like change your testimony, if you swore under oath, yes, that is Trooper Proctor, now you're saying, actually, that is not Trooper Proctor. I don't know who that is. I mean, they're not gonna nail him on like perjury charges or anything, but let's watch that clip again. I want to see that again. Watch how hard he swallows. He gets so scared trying to protect his buddy, former Massachusetts State Police Trooper Proctor.
From where the video is frozen
Watch
right
this.
now, I cannot tell.
So you're changing your testimony from Wednesday.
Objection.
Are you changing your testimony?
Did you see that hard swallow?
I am not changing my testimony, no.
Okay, next question, Mr. Jackson.
You
He's
then asked
so
whether the video
protected.
was true and accurate as in terms of its depiction of what was.
Oh, what a gross moment. I'm sorry. I just can't get over how gross that is, you guys. Oh, God. Like, my nose hairs stood up. That's how bad it stinks. That's how much that they're trying to protect him as much as possible. Oh!
What you observed in Sallyport that night, correct?
I indicated the video is true and accurate to the location.
And you were then asked whether or not, in looking at that video and watching it, either you or Trooper Proctor approached, manipulated, touched that right rear taillight at any time, and your answer was never, correct?
That's correct.
While
Lie.
you testified, this is the video that was displayed for the jurors, correct? That it was this orientation, the front of the truck facing right, the rear of the truck facing left, correct?
That's correct.
And for all appearances, it would appear that the right rear taillight of the SUV is the one facing the jurors, if you will, facing the viewer, right? From appearances. You didn't know anything different.
Can you rephrase that question, please?
Sure. Just from the appearance of the video, as it is now, the appearance of the video looks like the right rear taillight is the taillight that's facing the jurors, facing the viewer, toward the rear of the truck, correct?
As it is frozen, correct.
And on Wednesday, I want to move through this relatively briefly, Sergeant. On Wednesday, you did not mention that this video was inverted, did you?
It was not brought out, no.
Not brought up by, I mean, that's a passive way of saying it. I'm asking you directly. Did you mention that this was an inverted video?
Not on Wednesday, no.
On Thursday, Mr. Lally finished his questioning on Wednesday, then came back on Thursday. You continued on direct examination under questioning by Mr. Lally again to start the day, correct?
That is correct.
And during that testimony on Thursday morning, you also, under direct examination, did not mention that this video was inverted, did you?
Did not know.
And then it was my turn to ask you questions.
Yep.
You recall that?
I do.
And then I began asking you questions about the accuracy of this video. And at that time, for the first time, you said it appears that it is a mirror image. It's an inverted video, correct?
That's right.
I advised you that it is a mirrored image at that point, correct?
So you lied.
Would you agree with me now, as you sit here, that this video, as we're looking at it, is not a true and accurate depiction of what you viewed in that Sallyport that night?
Exactly.
I would not agree with you, no.
No?
You believe that what the
Really?
jurors are seeing right here is a true and accurate
What?
is true and accurate surveillance footage of the Sallyport that
What?
night.
Yes, it's just mirrored.
Which means what's left is right and what's right is left, correct?
Yeah.
Correct. If the jurors were actually standing where the camera is recording, which it's recording all accurate depiction of activity and events taking place,
Okay.
the back of the vehicle would be on the right and the front of the vehicle would be on the left, but all activity is accurately depicted in the video.
So, in point of fact, everything in this video, every bit of it, is reversed, correct?
Mirror image.
It's just a mirror image.
So it's not accurate, is it?
It's an accurate depiction of what has taken place.
Sergeant Bukhenik,
Oh my
if I were
God.
to ask you, let me give you a hypothetical. Let's say you were investigating a circumstance in which a suspect was being identified by 5 witnesses based on a tattoo on that person's left arm.
That's a
And
good
then you
question.
go show that witness, or those series of witnesses, an inverted version of a photograph of that person with the tattoo appearing on his right arm. And those witnesses all say, no, that's not the guy. I remember the guy. The guy had the tat on the left arm. Would you
Yeah.
think that that's an accurate depiction of the person with the tattoo?
Objection.
Sustained.
And it is sustained, but it doesn't matter. Jackson knew exactly what he was doing. You cannot ask a witness a hypothetical question that is not an expert witness. Every lawyer on the planet worth their salt knows that. Jackson knows that. He doesn't care about Yuri's answer, and he doesn't care about Lally's objection or Bev's sustaining of that objection. He knows all of that's going to happen. There will be no answer, there's going to be an objection, and it's going to be sustained unless Lally's asleep at the wheel. Jackson did it for the jury to understand that Yuri is a liar. The tattoo being on the left arm of the suspect, but you should go around showing everybody the tattoo on the right arm. It's misleading. It is not accurate. It is an inverted mirror image. Call it reverse, call it mirrored. It doesn't matter what you call it. It's not actually, if you had eyeballs looking at the scene that day instead of the camera, you would be seeing something different. And the answer is yes. You would be seeing something different. You'd be seeing the image the way it's supposed to be. Oh, I love it. A master trial lawyer. And I know I'm tooting his horn and everything, but I'm being serious. I'm being dead serious. For those of you rookies out there who may be thinking about law school or practicing attorneys and so on, that's how you do trial work. You know, in your mind, you know there's going to be an objection. The question you're asking is improper. This is all happening in real time in his head. Maybe he prepared it ahead of time. I don't know. Sometimes in the spur of the moment, you'll have something, you know. This is trial work. This is how trial work is done. The objection, the sustainment, the lack of answer, none of that matters. The jury heard it. It makes sense. And if the jury heard it, there is no... Sometimes prosecutors will go, Your Honor, I move to strike it from the record. It's not like jurors get their minds like deleted like Men in Black, you know, pew! You're going to forget everything that Jackson just said. And sometimes the judge will even instruct, you know, you are to forget everything that has been said with respect to this issue, which hasn't really been done in this case. But a lot of cases, prosecutors will go even further than that. But you can't wipe their memories for real. You can ask them to disregard it. Will they? That's a question for the jury. Do you see what I mean? Masterfully done. Masterfully done by Jackson. Getting a witness who does not want to cooperate, a prosecutor that is going to object, we know he's going to object, and the judge who's going to sustain. And this was a very proper objection, 100%. You cannot ask a witness hypotheticals. Jackson knows that. He did it for the jury. Let's keep watching.
Do you agree with me that an inverted video is not accurate? It's inverted by definition, right?
It's an accurate depiction of the events taking place.
The witness just won't
You
cooperate.
reviewed this video in its entirety, you testified, correct?
Yes.
About how long would you say this video is in its runtime, from start to finish?
I did not take note of the length of the video.
All right. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Bates, if you could, with the court's permission, can you just pull the cursor back to the beginning of the time of day for this video? And pause it there. Can you see, and this is not an eye exam, can you see the timestamp on the lower left-hand side?
No, I cannot.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, I could do this.
To see its sidebar. Jurors, sometimes lawyers have what we call stipulations rather than prolonging either testimony or calling an additional witness. Lawyers agree as to certain facts. So what the lawyers have agreed to here is that this video begins at 5:30 and 23 seconds, 5:30 p.m. and 23 seconds, and it ends at 5:48 and 15 seconds. And the total run time of the video is 5 minutes and 51 seconds.
And that's
Any
important.
questions?
Just under 18 minutes of footage in actual video footage. Starts at 5:30, ends at 5:48, plus or minus a few seconds. Okay? 18 minutes total of real life time. But what did you say, Bev?
And the total run time of the video is 5 minutes and 51 seconds.
The total runtime is less than a third. So we have 12, almost 12 and a half minutes of actual footage missing. More than 2/3 gone, edited, cut, spliced, deleted, call it what you will. It's not there. And that is very important. Let's see what Jackson does with that information.
Your questions, Mr. Jackson?
Thank you for that, Your Honor. Sergeant Bukhenik, given the fact that the beginning time, the time of day, is 5:30 and 23 seconds in the evening, and the end time of this video stops at 5:48 and 15 seconds, would you agree with me, without doing the math down to the seconds, that's about 17 minutes and 50 seconds or so?
In real time, yes.
In real time. The actual time of this video, the run time of this video, however, is only 5 minutes and 51 seconds, less than 6 minutes. You'd agree with that?
That is what's captured.
So that means that about 2/3 of the video is missing, correct?
It's not missing, just not recorded.
What does that
It's
mean?
not there.
It was never there.
I'm not saying it was ever there. I'm saying I don't know if it was ever there or not. Neither do you. I'm saying it's not.
Yeah,
there.
I love how Yuri's covering it was never there. How do you know? Are you the camera operative? Were you the one who extracted the video from the camera? Are you the one who gave it to the defense? No, no, and no. You had nothing to do. Why are you covering? What are you covering for? Oh, you're covering for your buddies. Right. It was never there. It never existed. Stop trying to imply things that didn't happen.
It was never recorded.
What does
Well,
that mean?
You don't know what has been and wasn't recorded.
Yeah, how do you
Judge.
know?
I'll let him answer.
Yeah, you don't know that.
I can only speak to what was turned over and what
Yeah,
we received.
yeah.
And based on the evidence that was produced, the video that was produced is what we got.
I understand.
Uh-huh.
So based on that answer, you acknowledge you don't know what may or may not have been recorded without your knowledge.
Exactly.
No.
Right.
There you go. Got him.
Did you notice that there were obvious portions of the video that in which individuals just seem to appear or apparate out of nowhere?
It's not a smooth recording of the events. When the motion triggers the recording, the video appears as if a person appeared in the video.
Apparation.
But that is due to the triggering of the recording.
Well, you
Oh, so now it's the camera's fault. We didn't do anything to it. It's just the camera, when it doesn't detect motion, it just doesn't record. What, to preserve tape? Because the police department doesn't have enough money from all the money they steal from citizens after they pull them over and go through their wallets? Oh, that's a real thing, folks. Look it up. It's a real thing. Cops do that all the time. I get calls from clients. They're like, I had, $100, $200, $500 in my wallet. It's all gone. I'm like, oh, did they apply it to like your jail bond or something? Like, no. It's just gone. They took it, and you'll never be able to prove that it was there. They're thieves. They're gangsters. Gangsters who operate within the confines of the law. It's terrifying. The Blue Line Gang is the biggest gang in the United States of America. So thin blue line my ass. I think this is a good place to stop. We'll continue this with part 7 of the cross-examination of Yuri Bukhenik. Next, I'm going to do the cross-examination of Brian Tully. So once we finish the Bukhenik series in a couple of days here, we're going to start the Brian Tully series after we finish the Bukhenik series, which should be concluded here very shortly. Thank you all for joining. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you all in part 7 of Yuri Bukhenik's cross-examination by Alan Jackson and Karen Reed's murder trial in Massachusetts in June of 2024. Bye, everybody.